Hello, besties, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk, Bestie. This is the podcast that is as bubbly as your favorite glass of champagne and as cozy as a chat with your best friend. And I am your host, Meryland, here to spill the tea on everything from relationships to self-care to life, love, and all the adventures in between. So get ready with me to laugh, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. Grab your headphones, bestie, and your favorite beverage because we are about to dive deep into the world of self-growth, self-discovery, and a whole lot of fun. So without further ado, here's my next episode. Hello, my friends. Welcome to 2024 season. I hope that you all enjoy your holidays, that you are open to receive all the abundance that 2024 has for you, and are ready to embrace the new journey ahead of you. I had a great holiday season and the start of the new year, and things are looking very promising in my life. I took a little break from the podcast, but here we are back again with some good stuff for you. So today, I would like to talk about overinvesting in people when we are dating. And that's something that I see happening a lot, especially from women. And sometimes when we start a new potential relationship, we want to do way too much and sometimes way too soon. And we invest more time into someone new or go above and beyond doing things that we have absolutely no business in doing. A lot of times, this comes from a desire to show them or to prove them that we are worthy of being chosen. And when we lose ourselves in this process, by allowing people to step over our boundaries and taking more from us than what they deserve. And it's important that we pay attention to how we behave when we start liking somebody, and we start putting aside our own things because we want to spend a lot of time with them or over the phone or seeing them. And it's important that we do not abandon ourselves in the process. It's very important to be aware of this and do the work on setting healthy boundaries and avoid overinvesting in people while we are dating them. We also should clearly define our priorities, work on maintaining a balance between personal and relationship goals, and also take our time for self-reflection. A very important thing here is communication. Communication is key in any type of relationship. And it's always important to express our needs and our expectations openly in a way that we can get an understanding. And also, it's very important to listen to your partner as well, because they also have needs and expectations, and we have to give them the opportunity to communicate this. We should regularly evaluate the level of commitment and emotional energy that we are investing to ensure that this aligns with our overall well-being and life goals. I'm going to offer a few steps that can help you into achieving this. And number one, this is not in any particular order of importance, okay? Number one is self-reflection It is important to take our time to understand our own needs, values, and priorities, to be aware of what we are looking for in a relationship and how much time and energy we can realistically invest. Because sometimes we try to do too much and we end up being depleted. We don't have the physical or mental capacity or bandwidth to invest as much as we probably would like, and that can be very detrimental in the long run. It is also important to set boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries for yourself regarding the time, the emotions, and the personal space. This could involve allocating specific times for personal activities and ensuring you maintain your independence. Okay, it's important to maintain your independence and do things for yourself. You cannot be 24/7 with the other person. You cannot expect the other person to dedicate all of their time to you, because they are also an individual and they need their own space. They have their own individual needs. So this is very important. Communication. Communicate openly. Discuss your boundaries and expectations with your partner. Open communication helps both of you to understand each other's needs and ensure that you are both on the same page. A lot of people are very afraid of speaking up, of sharing what their expectations are, and this can lead to a lot of miscommunication and feelings of resentment. So do yourself a favor and communicate as openly as possibly for you. The next is prioritize self-care. You got to make sure that you're taking care of your own well-being. This includes physical, emotional, and mental health. Do not neglect your personal interests and hobbies. Like I said, you need to set time aside for yourself, for your personal stuff, for your interests, for your hobbies, for your friends, for your family. It's very important to maintain a balance and give yourself some self-care. Another important thing to consider is evaluate compatibility. Regularly, it's important to assess the compatibility of your values, your goals, and your lifestyles with your partner, because if there are significant mismatches, it's important to acknowledge them and decide if the relationship aligns with your long-term vision. I was recently reading a comment or a post on one of the groups that I participate in, and this lady was bringing a situation that she's having with her current partner. He works night shifts and she works day shifts. So basically, they don't have a lot of communication throughout the day. And then the only time that they can be together, it seems like he's extremely exhausted and tired. And there are not too many things that they can do to enjoy the time together. And she also mentioned that a few times he has slept through some dates that they had already planned. So this is a very important aspect of compatibility. Sometimes I have read, and this is something that I don't necessarily agree, and people saying that if they want, they would, especially when it comes to men. And I really don't agree with that, because sometimes we want to do things, but we really don't have the capacity to fully do what we want, even as much as we would like to. For example, this man, he works 60 hours. He's a nurse. He works 60 hours. He works night shifts. By the time that he has some free time, he is completely exhausted and energetically depleted. It is very difficult for people to find a balance with somebody that works day shifts and doesn't work the same amount of hours and are not as tired. It's not that this man doesn't want to invest in this relationship. It's that physically and emotionally he's really compromised with his schedule. So this is a very important aspect of compatibility that we need to take into consideration. Another aspect is maintaining independence. Cultivate and maintain your own individual identity. A healthy relationship allows for individual growth and doesn't only define your sense of self. So, your partner doesn't define you. You gotta be an independent individual. Always maintain your independence. Managing our expectations. We gotta be realistic about what we can expect from a relationship. Understand that no one person can fulfill all our needs. And it's essential to find a balance between shared experiences and maintaining our independence. We can't expect other people to be our happiness, to be our everything. We cannot give somebody that much power and that much responsibility over us. We have to be able to share, to pour into somebody else's cup, and at the same time allow the person to pour into our cup. Otherwise, we all be depleted if we keep pouring and pouring and pouring and not being refilled. So this is very important. Also, seeking support. Talking to friends, talking to family. If you have a therapist, if you find it challenging to maintain a healthy balance in your relationships, it is important to sometimes get some external perspective that can provide valuable insights. Just be careful where you get your information and your sources from, because sometimes people will project their own insecurities and their own bad experiences onto you. So it's important to find a healthy, balanced perspective from someone that can provide that for us. Finding the right balance is an ongoing process, and adjustments may be necessary as the relationship evolves. But the most important thing you need to remember is that nobody is worth losing yourself to be with them. If someone is taking more from you than what they are pouring into you, then, my friend, it is time to let them go, because you always, always, always should choose yourself. And that's my 2024 first advice for you. Always choose yourself. You always have to advocate for yourself. You always have to put yourself first. Because if you're not okay, if you're not taken care of, if you're not happy, if you're not, if your cup is not being refilled, you are not going to be able or capable of being the best version of yourself, of giving the best of yourself, and being the best for somebody else. So always make sure that you are taken care of and that you are a priority in your own life. Now, let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have had experience going through this, where you have to go over some of these things that I mentioned, and you have made a successful relationship based on these boundaries and these steps that I have mentioned. Or if you need help working on some of this, we are always a work in progress. We always have room for improvement. We don't know it all. And sometimes we learn from one relationship to the next different things that we lack, or different things that we need to make, or different things that we need to do better. It's always a work in progress. It's always a learning experience. The journey never ends. So, my friends, this is going to be all for this episode of Let's Talk Bestie, first of the 2024. I truly hope that we can continue to discuss many more special and important topics throughout the year. And please do not forget to leave your comment and to share if this has been helpful to you. You don't know who you can be helping by sharing this episode, and I will definitely appreciate it. Leave me your comment, leave me a review, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Until then, ta-da. Thank you so much for tuning in to another fabulous episode of Let's Talk Bestie. I am your host, Meryland, and I really hope that you enjoy the insights and the information that I share with you in this episode. If you loved what you heard, please don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember that sharing is caring, so share the podcast with your besties and spread the love. Let's connect on social media. You can find me on Instagram as Meryland CC and on Facebook as Otros 20 Pesos. We can share thoughts, stories, and you can also suggest topics for the future episodes. I would love to hear what you have to say. Remember, life is better with your bestie by your side. So, until next time, we'll talk again.